Yo. This is the All Done Podcast. My name is Tracy. It's my boy Mike, aka Shakes. What's good with you today, Mike?
Man, not much, man. Just, happy to be here. How you doing, my brother?
I'm chilling. It is voting season. So today on the All Done Podcast, we're going to get into it a little bit, right? We're going to talk about voting.
Yeah, I know we have very different views on voting, so I'm ready for this one.
Oh, man. Your black ass better get out there and vote. All right, so where do we start? Where do we really start with this whole voting conversation, right? Because
let's start with, I'm gonna ask you, how do you feel about voting? Is it a necessity? Should it be done? Do you think you should vote? Are you going to vote? Do you encourage the youth to go vote, 18 and older? What's your vibe on voting?
All right, so we'll start there. Not that I thank you for that question. That is a brilliant jumping off point. I will say that I am not against voting. I don't have a problem if that's what you choose to do. As far as encouraging the youth to vote, I would say yes to that specific question, because I think that's what we're trying to do, right? So if you want young people to get involved in what we call democracy, that's a different conversation if we actually have that.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation later.
But yes, if we would like to keep the ideals of democracy going and have those individuals who are going to be up and coming living in this society, yes, I feel like you should encourage those young people to vote and talk about the issues with them, so on and so forth. You asked like 3 questions. What was the other one about? Well, am I going to vote this year?
Yes.
This year I will go out and vote or whatever.
Oh, that's a change.
I mean, it's a slight. I think 4 years ago, I was definitely on the leverage our vote thing. Like I'm with that. Like I'm not. And let's be clear, just because I'm choosing to vote this year, I'm not denouncing anyone who is choosing to be like, nah, man, I don't want to participate in a system that doesn't take care of me.
Absolutely, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I feel it's a system that wasn't made for us. So I don't feel like there has been a president who has lied to us about something. And sometimes it's a necessary evil, whatever the case may be. And some presidents just, as much as we would like to say, well, this president was our president, we haven't had one as our people. So that's not.
So you're voting.
I'm definitely voting.
Okay.
But that's not, my vote isn't so, well, it can be changed. That's not what my vibe is on voting. My vibe is more homage to my ancestors who fought and died, for the right to vote. Because that was important to me. Like, they fought and died for just for that right. So that's why I tell a lot of people, even if you don't pick a candidate, go sign your name to the voting book. Just to exercise your right. Because at first we wasn't one third of a man. We wasn't even considered human. Like
1/5.
1/5. Not exactly 1/5. We wasn't even considered like human. We wasn't even a whole person. We were property. We were less than.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And so that's why I always say exercise your right.
So okay, so you gotta pick a side and stand on it. Then, what if I don't want to exercise my right then? Right? Because talking to me 4 years ago, I was in a place where I felt like, and let's be clear, right? There's always that cliche out there that no one's coming to save you, and we've heard this before. I'm not making this up. You've heard that phraseology or seen the memes, whatever. No one's coming to save you. And when I think about that, I'm like, but wait a minute. I don't know if that's necessarily true, right? Because that's what I have elected officials to do, is to come and save. Like, it doesn't, I'm in a democracy. And the fact that we have normalized that type of energy is really my problem with the whole system.
Yeah, but you know what? Not only the system that's a problem with, but the people who taught us certain things, like, oh man, like no one's coming to save me. But you get taught both things. If you become quote unquote conscious, you get into, well, you have nothing but you. And what if you grew up in a religious household? You're taught someone's coming to save you, like Jesus is
I'm
coming to
talking about
save
from
you.
a practical
I'm talking
reality
about.
standpoint.
I'm just talking about what I'm saying is what's instilled in you.
Oh, the upbringing.
Yeah, the upbringing. It's someone's coming to save you, or even like you said, from a political standpoint. Well, your vote matters to the point like you can change. Like everything can be changed by your vote. So you learn from both ways, is what
I
I'm
don't know if
saying.
that's true, right? We have a very electoral college system. We could talk about that.
Yeah, that's so we probably will get into it, but that was my view. So I mean, go ahead and finish your thought. You said
yeah,
no one's coming to save you, but
and
that's
that
what they
energy is
for.
very, very prevalent in our society, in our community. Is nobody's coming to save you. And I absolutely want to be clear. I'm gonna be okay. Me and my team, we grind as we go. We're gonna figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really talking about me or the people that I associate with, or the people that can build and create something for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That is the minority compared to the majority of people who need help, need benefits, need assistance, need a system that is fair. So if you work your ass off day in and day out, you can reap the benefits of that hard work. And that is not what we have right now. And so I say all that to say, when I was working at Adult World and I didn't have anything and I was just trying to go check to check and get my money up, the last thing I would have wanted to hear is nobody's coming to save. What do you mean nobody's coming to save me? But you want me to go out and vote for this person?
We really
right? A
need
mayor,
help.
a governor, a president, Senate, Congress, all those people who we the people elect are supposed to come save us, are supposed to be working and striving to make our everyday lives better. That hasn't happened in my diagnosis in quite some time, especially for what you would call lower middle class individuals in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I haven't had nobody throw me a lifeline as far as, well, me, I'm not gonna say me, because personally I've had some stuff happen, but yeah, as far as us as a whole, like nobody's, and honestly, like
Wait. The proof is in the pudding. I'll say this, and I want you to finish what you were saying. Even the proof is in the fact that we can't even get the stimulus check thing together.
Yeah, that's funny, and I think a lot of headlines come out with that just as attention grabbers, like to pull us one way or the other. Because I've been seeing, well, Democrats want this, Republicans want this, and let's
Two-party
just be
system is
honest.
nonsense too. We could talk. The two-party system is nonsense too. What do
But
you
let's
mean a
be
two-party
honest.
system?
Even
Ridiculous.
if they drop a stimulus, it's a drop in the bucket compared to what we really need.
That's true, but I mean, if the bucket is bone dry, put my little raindrop in there, please.
Only thing it's gonna do is sizzle
You're
and
right.
evaporate. But
it's better than the bucket just being empty.
But one thing we got to realize and pay attention to is, yes, it would be good. See, I believe in taking small victories for sure. So yes, it would be good for me personally. But honestly, we know that stimulus check isn't to help us really.
Sure.
It's to just help. It's to stimulate their economy to make sure their pockets keep growing. And
I agree.
And like I said, so that's where I'm at with it. Like I'm all done with. Like I just be real with me.
Your politicians they
never are. But I'm all done with the I'm here for you. No, you're not. Because I've never seen you inside my neighborhood and inside my school and inside my
No, I have. I've seen you there when it's time to get elected.
Even with that, like, think about it. Not in my neighborhood. They may come to my state. They may speak on my neighborhood.
Good point.
When the last time you seen, a president walk through Brentwood High School, ride up Stein Drive? There was that one time Bush came and it was about a factory. So it wasn't even about how I'm living. It was about a factory there. I think they said Trump came to Brentwood or close or something like that, and it was about factory work.
Yeah, he was up here. It's a lot of cliches. It seems like you guys are just telling us. Right, you got all these writers. They're tailoring speeches to different populations of Americans, which I'm cool, and I understand the game. I'm telling you, my biggest problem with voting, and I think will change the topic a little bit. My biggest problem is to have people try to shame you into voting. I wish a motherfucker would come shame me if I'm destitute on a day-to-day. I live check to check. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul, as Della Mae would say. I gotta go take this over here. I'm barely making it over there. I can't. Lights going off.
I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Throw it out of, my brother. But I'm gonna, and this is what kills me, and this is one of the questions I had, is the wealthy, the celebrity, right? And I'm not gonna mention one because I don't do that. I definitely, especially if they're black, I don't tear the black people down. That's not my style. But for anyone who is well off or you're doing okay, to shame poor, impoverished individuals into voting because somebody cut you a check to say that, and you're gonna come tell me down here at the bottom that I ain't shit and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I get up every day, work my ass off to take care of my family. There's something very wrong with that to me. Very wrong with that to me.
I'm happy you mentioned celebrities, and because as they out here telling us we should vote, make sure we vote. How many do you think are actually voting the way we vote? Well, let's just be honest. Like most middle or lower class African Americans or black people. Let's say black. I like black.
Sure.
Most people that look like me, they vote Democrat. Most.
Now we
do. A large majority.
I could go with that.
But like, let's just be realistic. Does it even really make sense for the higher end celebrities to vote Democrat?
I mean, according to 50 Cent, no, it doesn't.
See, I wasn't gonna name drop, but I can't. And
that's the story that was out there. I'm not tearing that brother down because I think either way, I'm cool. 50, do your thing, bro. If Trump is better for your pockets, do that.
I was just about to say that. So
say it, so I can know, so we can all know and gain some understanding. Because I do think a lot of celebrities feel like he feels, but won't come out and just be like,
and that's another issue. That's why I brought that up. Like, yo, if you do vote, like I said, I'm not gonna knock you or down you for withholding your vote as you did, for withholding your vote. But if we do vote for what's gonna work for you and yours, like that's why I tell people I don't care. I have an argument with a guy. I work with I work with a coon every day. And I'm big on Trump. He tried to upset me. I'm not mad at who you're voting for.
Doesn't matter.
Vote what works for you. And that's the problem we have as well. Like, of course, we want the collective to grow, but individually, you got to do what works for you. Every day I get up, I do what works for me, and hopefully it builds who's around me, because I can't help your house until my house is set.
Can't pour from an empty cup. That's true.
Yeah, so
which is what celebrities had asked us to do, right? I work at retail store ABC, and I live check to check. But here you come from your Hollywood Hills to come tell me I absolutely have to vote, and if I don't, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. If you don't get all the way the fuck out my face.
And let's be honest, voting didn't make them who they are. Voting didn't make them rich. Voting didn't make them wealthy. Voting didn't put them in a great place. Now, voting may help keep them from getting taxed, and I'm not mad at you, because if it was me, well, how can I save X, X, and X? Or I can do it this way.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
So that's my pride, and I guess that's my point. Like, over the last couple months, man, some of the stuff that I've seen, and you got celebrities crying, pleading with the American public to vote, and I could never, after even seeing what just happened to the brother in Philly a week ago, I can't go to them people, and I wouldn't even feel right going to the people in Philadelphia and being like, y'all just saw what y'all saw, but definitely got to go vote, because that is how you're going to change. Like, I will tell you this, secretly, I am praying Joe Biden wins, because I need to understand what you're going to say, celebrity X, Y, and Z, the next time after Joe Biden is elected, and nothing happens and you get another black person that's slain.
Right, yeah.
Or another 4 years where our education system gets worse. Or another 4 years where no one's dealing with the student debt crisis.
Yeah.
People have real problems.
And I believe it's going to be a lot of the same. Like, I tell people this a lot all the time, and I say it, I know you feel the same way. We have not had an official that was for us. Not on the presidential level. You know, maybe some people voted some local elections. By the way,
I would
that's
say
really
barely there. People love to throw that in there. Oh, you gotta get your local.
It
That's
depends.
cool.
It depends on where you're at and who your
It
local official
does.
is. But
There's a lot. My point is there are a lot of other factors. It's not like, oh my
yeah,
God, I voted this congressman or this senator or this governor in or this. What was my man Mays Gilliam, an alderman? Or I got this alderman in my area.
Alderman Gilliam.
He holds it down. Alderman Gilliam holds it. Like, nah. My point is, man,
Gilliam in there.
all those people, and I would say this, and I like to offer solutions. I would say you need to pay political officials bare minimum. You can get their houses taken care of, their groceries, their families should be well taken care of. They should live in a nice, but it shouldn't be no politician making six figures out here for what? Your job is to serve us.
I'm gonna take you one step further. Like I like that. That's cool. But if you're a politician, or especially a local official, ain't no way. I live in Jackson. And if you don't know about Mississippi, Jackson is considered a pretty hood area in most places. But ain't no way you should live in. I mean, you should be the mayor of Jackson or something like that and live in Madison. Because now you're not even at where I'm at. You're comfortable.
Mm.
You know, you're telling us, well, I'm here with you, but you're not really. Like, you don't have to worry about your stuff being broken into on a daily basis. You don't have to worry about, am I going to get shot when I walk into my car, when I'm coming home late from work? You don't have to worry about that.
Which is, again, a problem of y'all not taking care of y'all business. Y'all not doing y'all job. Politicians are the only people who can actively not do their job and continue to stay in the job.
Sometimes it makes me wonder, what do you really do?
I don't know. It is hard. I'm not gonna say I don't know, but it ain't enough, is what I'm saying. Whatever you're supposed to be doing, you're not doing it good enough. You're not doing enough. Period.
On the day-to-day, like, what are you doing? I just be wondering.
Kissing babies, shaking hands.
Like, I get up, every morning at 5 o'clock, get dressed, go to a 7 o'clock meeting about what happened last night, hustling. Like, my hands are all scratched up just from working. So I want to know, what do you do on a day-to-day?
The person that is, what's that, brothers? The mayor or the local official in your county don't work as hard as you do.
The mayor of Jackson, Shockway Lumumba.
You think he gets up? You think Shuck gets up every day and grinds the way you do? That's an honest question. Maybe he does. Like, I'm not trying to take nothing from the brother. Maybe
brother like break too, by the way. But you know what? I don't have nothing bad to say about the brother, because I don't. Like, I've seen some positive things he's done in Jackson, but I just want to know. Like, I'm not saying you're not doing anything, but I just want to know, like, what's a day in your life? Like, to tell me that you're here with me and you understand what's your day in your life. And don't get me wrong, his dad was great when it came to civil rights and stuff like that back in the day. He was the mayor of Jackson. Rest in peace to that brother. But I just want to know. There's no. Like, so I'm not just attacking him personally because, he's my mayor. So I just be wanting to know, like, what do you do on a daily basis? Like, what is your day-to-day like? How are you helping make Jackson better on a day-to-day?
I would say, man, out of everything and all the people that I get the opportunity to actually have conversations with, the people are not happy with America. Like, I don't see anyone that's just like, oh man, this is just great. My quality of life is.
We're knocking it out of the park here.
Like, man, no one's on that type of time. I don't talk to nobody that's like that. I just don't. I don't see it. And then I work with young adults, college age students. They're not necessarily super excited about getting out into the field either. Like, no one is excited about where we're going. No one is. And that is that if you're a politician and have been for some time, you have to be accountable. That's your fault.
Right.
That's your fault. And so if I have been alive for 30-something years, 20-something years, and I've watched my parents and my grandparents and my friends and my aunties, uncles, and they've struggled, and then I get of age to vote, and then I say I don't want to vote because of everything that I've experienced, and then your rebuttal is, well, you got it. It's not about you. It doesn't. Again, man, it baffles me.
That brings the question to, when does it become about me?
At what point?
At what point? At what point is it about me? Like, Is it
Can I
never
get
about me?
something? Can I get something, please? I eat a lot
Is
of
it,
noodles. Do I have to eat
is
noodles
it never
every day?
about me?
Yeah, ever.
Yeah, like and that brings that to question. So it's just one of those things that's I don't know. I
No,
don't know. I
you know.
mean, I do, but I
You know
just
it's nonsense, bro. You know it's nonsense, and I think everyone knows it's nonsense, but we just do it because it's our duty. Keep democracy alive, or this is the best one: get Trump out of there.
say something, and a lot of people gonna hate it, and I don't care. I actually, as a person,
Yeah,
as a leader of the free world, and he's supposed to be running the country I love so dearly. He's horrible, but Trump actually doesn't bother me as a person, and here's why. See, a lot of people have a problem with races as a whole.
mm-hmm.
I haven't. My issue takes place with you don't like me, but you're not saying you don't like me.
Yeah, I don't
You're
like the
not
closet.
saying, yeah, you're a closet with it. If you don't like me, I respect. Okay, you don't like me. I don't like you. I don't like most people.
Trump has erased that though, and I agree with you. I'm thankful for it. Come on out the closet. Let me know who the
Yeah, let
lies
me
are.
know.
Let me know.
But Trump just Trump does what he wants to do, and I think
Unapologetically.
I think secretly everybody wants to live that way. You feel me?
I would say that there are a certain a faction of people who wish they could do what he does, but I think that what I would say about the Trump thing is it's not my responsibility to get Trump out of there because Trump is one person.
Mm-hmm.
I think what people are like failing to realize is Trump has awakened or emboldened, as people like to say, the millions of people that feel the same way he does and have always felt that way. So
Absolutely.
I'm trying to figure out, Trump is in or Trump is out. What are you going to do with all of the what are you going to do about white supremacy then? Like, if he's in or he's out, like, where's the connection? Tell me.
You know what you're going to do about white supremacy?
Yeah.
You're going to stand back and stand by.
Exactly.
You're
He ain't talking to himself. He ain't talking to himself.
He sent a clear message over open airways. Are you going to denounce white supremacy? Stand back and stand by. So he letting us know it can get real. You good old boys, hold up.
This is what I'm trying to say. For those black people who are like, oh, Trump's the one, gotta get him out of there. Okay, so that's cool. He's out of there. I think you guys are saying that because it's more convenient for you in your life to keep your head in the fucking sand. It's just easier for you to do that. Oh, I don't gotta see it every day. It's not the face of the country. Never mind the fact that this year alone, been seeing a lot of headlines about black men being like hung. Like that's been a real theme throughout the last couple months. Just random,
randomly. And they writing him off as suicides. Oh, he's hung
black
himself.
man found
From a 60-foot tree? How?
I don't know. But you know what? You know what to solve that? If you get Trump out of there, then you won't have that no more.
Wrong.
Exactly. It doesn't go together. So don't sit up and tell me. And I get it. He's a terrible. You said it, he's a terrible leader. He's not a leader. He's not presidential. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. It's a bad look
for everyone. Yeah.
But with that said, okay, everybody understands that. No logical person is like, oh man, he's a good. Like, no, come on. Like you hear
even like let's be real. Even the dominant society that loves Trump, they know he's not a great leader.
Yeah, he's a joke.
These people aren't dumb. All right, so these white supremacists, they're not dumb.
Yeah, not at all. Most smartest people on the planet to facilitate and continue a system. Yeah, absolutely.
He's just a face. So most people aren't dumb. They know he's not a great leader.
Sure.
But I lost my train of thought with that one. I was just it's almost laughable how folks be on, Trump is the worst. Trump is Trump. Trump is the same person he was on, his reality shows. He has not changed. And you got to pay attention to words. He said he never said he wasn't racist. He said I'm the least racist person in my,
on the stage. On this
Yeah.
stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that mean you're not racist, you know. This
My
means
point
these
is,
people that we don't know that's working behind the scenes, that's running the country, they give it up crazy. I'm gonna tell you something else that's interesting to me. How they have how white supremacists find new ways to insult people, and just sometimes we catch it, sometimes we don't. I have at my job, it's a supervisor or maybe even one of my managers, and he's talking in a meeting. He's talking about people could not come to work on Monday mornings or whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, we got to get our attendance up because he's like, ain't no way we should miss work on Monday because we was at Mike barbecues on Sunday." If this is a Caucasian manager or supervisor talking to a predominantly black workforce, and that's what he went with. We went to Mike's barbecue on Sunday and can't go to work on Monday.
he was trying to be cultural. He was talking to y'all culturally appropriately.
Like, he gives it up so crazy, and it's just like, and because he didn't say the N-word, it is like, But basically, he's like, yo, ain't no way y'all should be at your niggas' barbecues and don't make it to work Monday though in these fields. Like, that's what I heard. But everybody might not have heard it. Everybody might have chuckled. Mike, because my name is Mike as well. So yeah, we was at Mike. Like, nah.
Nah, that ain't.
No, he said you niggas was out working and didn't come to the fields Monday. That's what I peeped. I mean, yeah. So
that's my point, man. The individual racist is out there, and I think not federally, not state, not that no one is dealing with that. You want to tell me Trump, and then the kicker is, don't let you bring up Biden and Harris. Like, don't let you bring up any of those things. It's almost like the slate has been wiped clean. Like, oh no, don't worry about it. And like I said, I don't have any belief in politicians, and I think if I ever had a reason to vote that was reasonable and legitimate, that is it, because you guys are not doing your fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
Any of you. None of you are doing what you're supposed to do.
How'd you feel about the former president, Barack Obama?
I like his swag.
Definitely swaggy.
I like his swag. I mean,
what did that brother do for you?
I mean, I'm still out here, trying to put the pieces together. Like I said, I'm comfortable with the American grind, American empire, capitalism, whatever you want to call it, because I'm gonna figure it out. Like, me and my guys, we work hard. We're gonna put it together, and a lot of people will. A very small percentage of people gonna be all right, no matter who's the president.
Absolutely, I'm seeing a lot of LLCs being formed and things like that.
This question is not for those people, though. We're talking about the people that are gonna be the everyday workers. I'm talking about the gas station guy that he's cool with being the gas station guy.
Yeah.
And you, as the politician, are supposed to make sure that his quality of life is okay, that he can get what he needs on a day-to-day, so that his employer is not destroying him.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that was a little bit of a fishing question asking about.
I know it was, but I love that brother. I love that brother. I love President.
I feel like he's done something. He did one thing in particular that for me, but that's a conversation we had before. I'm big on
we talking about healthcare. Yeah,
that's big on how I lived. But I was just asking, my issue with a lot of things. Like I said, we mentioned this a few times. We talk about the undercover racists, and I want you, if you're a white supremacist and you don't like me, I want you to say it, because my issue is not with you. If you want to drive around with your Confederate flag, and I swear you want to drop the N-bomb 1,000,000 times, I swear that doesn't bother me. Only people that bother me being racist is the people that sign my checks. Those are racists that bother me, because you can affect.
That's the problem. They're gonna be in the closet. They're not coming out being like, Negro, take this.
Nah, the best white supremacists love. Who said that? It was one of the documentaries, and somebody said the best white supremacists love black people.
That's deep.
Yeah, it was one of the I can't even think of the name of the documentary right now, but
no, I get it though, right? Because I mean, in order to be supreme, right, to feel like I'm supreme over someone, I need to have someone to be inferior.
Yeah,
right? I can only be supreme if I have inferiority to be the opposite of that. And so, yes, that's been a phrase I've heard often, is like, White supremacists don't want to get rid of all of us. Racist people don't want to get rid of all, because then who would I hate?
So now that brings my question. That just brought a question to me. So to the white, quote unquote, white supremacists, because there's some white supremacists that are not truly white supremacists because they don't have what it takes to be white supremacists.
There's a variety in race.
Yeah, they're just a middle class, white person who doesn't like.
But it's all dangerous. There's variety in it, but it's all dangerous. But go ahead.
So let's say if we all jump on the bandwagon, all people of color jump on the bandwagon and move back to Africa,
which I don't agree with at all.
I don't. That's not my vibe. But I'm just, this is hypothetical. We all jump on the bandwagon and let all the black people exit America, mass exodus, and we go back to Africa. Who do you think the upper white supremacists is going to start to hate and belittle and things like that? You next. The people that
after racism, you got classism.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I get, and I mean Africa people to dispel the African racism, white supremacy is a global phenomenon.
Absolutely.
It's
absolutely. No. That's
people that you can like run from it. Like, nah, you kind of
we're hated everywhere.
Yeah, you just gotta have justice, man. That's what you gotta have. You gotta have justice, you gotta have right and wrong, good and evil, and obviously racism, white supremacy is evil. So it's not about, I hope people don't think that. Like, oh, let me just
it's just not America. It's not just America. The ultimate white supremacy, and
not at all.
It started with colonizing Africa. So that's.
So I guess my other question I did have is about the pandering, right? So like I seen, and I guess I gotta call it out, but there's been many the commercials and get your booty to the polls, and there's strippers. And did you see that? The get your booty to the polls. So it's like strippers and they're dancing and they're like, get your booty to the polls. They're like exotic dances.
I missed that. Remind me to look that up.
They're encouraging you to go vote. I love strippers. That's good. Listen, that's fine if that's your
profession.
I engage
in strippers on a regular basis. Not in the way people say that.
Yeah,
I'm not just out here in the strip club.
Clear that up, right?
Let's clear that up. I'm a bouncer at a club, and sometimes they come to the club for their leisure time, I guess.
That's cool, right? Working women, I can respect the hustle. That's fine.
I get your bread, queen.
Word, that's fine. I guess my question comes into to talk about pandering. And is there, right, you see politicians, and like you said, you're not from this area, but maybe around election time, you're going to come to Jackson High School and encourage some of your young people there they could be whatever they want.
Yeah.
And maybe they could be mayor, right? So we start to see this during election, and I don't like it because I feel like people are easily persuaded by it. Like, did you forget the last 4 years of your life? Like you've been working at Piggly Wiggly, and you.
That's too many. That's your third Mississippi reference, bro. You gotta chill.
Too close to home.
You gotta chill. First you said Jackson High School, now Piggly Wiggly.
All right, cool.
I love Piggly Wiggly.
Let's take Piggly Wiggly. Like, you work back in the day, gas station, Amco. So you're a gas station attendant at Amco, and you know what? Politician A's speech tonight is all about the gas station workers, right? And getting those people the things that they need. And then you're like, you feel great. You feel
good. He talking about gas stations.
He talking about gas stations.
He's right. He's right.
But then my point becomes, do we just erase what just like you weren't born yesterday. So like whatever politicians are talking about doing, they had time to do it is my point overall.
Absolutely. Right? Honestly, it don't take time. Here's the crazy part. So like you said, gas station workers, they may give a speech. I want to make sure every gas station worker is able to feed their family on a daily basis. But you know what? Tomorrow when they go give a speech, they're going to say, I want to make sure every chicken plant worker is able to feed their family. So it don't take time. It just take a change of word.
It just seems like, and I'm not saying to change the words of the problem. I'm saying that the words are followed up by nothing.
By nothings. And
then here we are all just continuing to facilitate a very broke. It kills me when people are like, the system's broken, but the only way to fix it is to vote. Like, wait a minute, voting just didn't start 4 years ago. Voting didn't start a decade ago, but we've been voting for a long time. And I'll tell you this, things kind of seem to be getting worse.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's just me.
I think at some point they got better, and then we just on a merry-go-round.
It seems very
better, worse, and the better is not great. That's the crazy part, because the better is not great.
Yeah, no, the better is a very, like, when you talk about better, you might be talking about early 90s, or I feel like the 90s things were early 2000s. People felt like, oh man, I can get a job, I can go to college, right? That was when the college thing was really starting to bubble. Now you got the same messaging, but the outcomes are much, much different.
Yeah.
Right? You got the same kids that go into college, but there are no real jobs to help pay back the debt. Right?
Absolutely.
I liked what Obama was trying to do with getting free community college tuition. That was something that I thought was good. So, like, people always say that about me, and we've had this conversation about, oh, you didn't like Obama. He didn't. Like, yeah, I'm always gonna say Obama didn't do enough. And you know what? I will give you this. I will throw the politicians this bone. Heavy lies the crown, right? It's not easy to be in power. And I can acknowledge that as a person who has supervised or been in leadership roles. I can only imagine what it's like to have that burden of leadership on me. With that being said, though, if you're going to accept that responsibility and you don't get the job done, yeah, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You can't accept the responsibility and be like, oh no, I was up against too much stuff. That's not acceptable. To me, that's unacceptable.
You trusted yourself in that role, and I respect that. I respect that mindset. You know, and there's some things as a leader, there's some L's you're just gonna have to take.
Sure.
I'm trying to explain it.
You don't
try to explain it. So I'm not, like I said, when it comes to President Obama, I'm not mad at the job he did per se. But there's some L's you have to take. Don't try to explain it away, well, I couldn't have did it because this, that, and the third. And I think we had that conversation. He was like, well, what has he come out and done for Black people directly?
Yeah, he dropped the ball on that one.
And I'm like, yo, and I remember trying to explain, well, no, because this affected me and this helped me. But he was like, well, what has he come out and said? Well, this is for Black people. He's done for the gay community. Came out, this is for the gay community. This is for this community, this is for that community. What he didn't do anything to come out and say, well, Black people, this is for you. And I don't know why a lot of people seem that a lot of people think that we don't deserve that. Like why do you get that specifically? Because, you know, let's just be real, we've been through a lot. People get mad when you bring up the slavery, but slavery wasn't that long ago.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Like,
yeah, but I'm just saying, like people, well, why do y'all keep bringing up the past? Think about it. My parents are in their 70s. I mean, my father was born around 1949, right?
Very much felt the burden of what slavery did in their lifetime. They very much felt it.
If not his grandparents, his great-grandparents were slaves. That's not that long ago. That's, what, 2-3 generations?
Exactly.
That's not long ago.
And so, like, I love Dr. Joy DeGruy when she talks about Black people being a miracle. And, like, what we've accomplished in spite of is, like, off the charts. It's truly amazing to think.
We're resilient. We're definitely resilient. That's one thing I love. And I said that to a dude. Like I said, I work with a coon, Uncle Tom, whatever you want to, whatever term you want to use, you want to use. And he, like, I asked, you know, how you doing today? Or I may ask whatever. Well, you know, or I'm like, you know, what's going on, brother? Well, I'm just black on the outside. Like, bro, I don't even know what that means.
Come on.
That's a direct quote. I'm just black on the outside. I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but, you know, and I tell people I love being who I am. I love being a Black man. And that's another thing. I'm sorry. I know I'm all over the place. That's another thing.
Talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit.
There's nothing wrong with being proud of who you are.
No, you got to say that. That's important.
And, you know, and that's anybody. Once again, that's anybody. Like, you know, they have, especially in New York, they have the, you know, West Indian Day Parade, the I don't know what they call it now. We used to call it the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I think they changed it. The Hispanic Day Parade. But there's nothing wrong with that. St. Patty's Day is a day just for, you know, that There's nothing wrong. So people try to make you feel bad for saying, yo, I just love being a black man. And they'll say something, well, why are you making it about race? It's not about like I love being who I am.
That's who I am. What do you mean?
Like this, so I can take pride in being a black man. I may even say one day I take pride in being a black American. You can't be mad at me for that, but people will make you feel bad, try to make you feel bad for that, and that's a whole nother issue. Yeah.
They will, especially in the context of voting. Well, you're a black man. How could you not vote for Biden? I mean, let me count the ways. Like,
yeah, if I was rich, I might not vote for Biden. You feel me?
I mean, vote for who you want, man, and then that's fine. I guess the overall thing is
go vote for Kanye if you want to. You know?
Yeah, I mean that's silly. I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, no, you see, you can't call it silly.
I'm gonna call that silly because I think that we're in the same situation that we're in now, right? Like, I need people to understand. In no way, shape, or form will I shame you, but I will articulate my opinion on why I don't think what you're doing is very smart. I'm not gonna be like, you're dumb and start crying and like, I'm not going. We have seen some celebrities really go far and like be disrespectful. That's never gonna be my intent in having these conversations.
That's never
no matter what side you're on, right? Because I do think if we're gonna live up to the ideals of what we want America to be, it's not. We don't get there through being disrespectful, even when maybe it's warranted. We don't. We have to try to step away from that. So wrapping this thing up, man. Give me the voting solution, right? It's gonna be someone's gonna win. Someone's gonna win. Give me the voting solution. Are we supposed to go out and vote for Trump? We're supposed to go out and vote for Biden? We're supposed to not vote? Give me what they're supposed to do. Tell the people what they're supposed to do.
Me personally, I can't tell you what you're supposed to do. Once again, as I said earlier, you got to do what's best for you. What's best for me might not be best for you. So go ahead and do that. But when you do that, when you do submit your vote, let's say we get Trump out of office, like a lot of people think will make the change. Well, then now hold that next president accountable. You feel me?
Becomes how?
Hold them to a certain standard. I'm gonna tell you, the how is when you start hurting pockets. That's the how. Like, we talked about the bus boycott back in the day. It wasn't just because, we want to fill out buses. No, they start losing money. And that's what the dominant society understand, a loss of money. Let's start withholding our money. Our vote is one thing. So even if Trump get back in office and we mad about something, start withholding money from stuff. Start. All right, well, I'm not going to this business because for whatever reason. They're Trump supporters. I'm not going to go to this business. Or, well, you start hurting pockets, that's really where it's at. Voting is one thing. Voting, like I said, I exercise my right because people, my ancestors fought and died for that right. So, that's why I exercise that right. But when you start hurting pockets, that's when your change is going to come.
I would say, to wrap it up, my overall point is the president is not the reason for your problems. The system is very much not working to empower and make the lives of the people better. And I think we need to start thinking about wholesale changes to the entire structure. And I know people don't want to have that conversation because it's easier to go out and fill in a bubble and say you did your part. That's easier than saying democracy as we want it is not what we're being delivered as Americans. We're not getting it the way we want it to be given to us. Right? We're getting a very watered down, fend for yourself, no one's coming to save you type of energy. And I don't think that's what democracy is, right? We are electing these people to improve the quality of lives for millions of people. And to protect the lives of millions of people. And up until this point, I'm not sure that that's being done. And I think, again, we need to start worrying about the how. How do we change this thing to make it better for those that it's supposed to be serving? Right? Politicians, good. They're going to be all right. Obama goes on vacation with his family. So if you're a person right now and you're voting, you're willing to fight your family or have real emotional conversations about politicians, allow me to remind you, the dumb people ain't struggling. They okay. They want to go on vacation. They want to get their kids school clothes, food in the fridge. They good. I think we, the people, definitely need to start looking at it in the context of voting. Yo, how do we take care of us, the masses? How do we get them to do that at a higher level? And that's the question. Vote for who you want, right? That's your right. Exercise it or don't. I would understand either way, especially being a person that's lived in this country for 30 plus years.
Yeah. So I like that. And
on that note,
now, this podcast
is all
done.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Always. Love you, brother.